Hundreds of people have queued in Northland today where an emergency free vaccination program is being rolled out to combat a deadly meningococcal outbreak. Health authorities hope the 3 vaccination clinics that opened today will be able to vaccinate 25,000 teenagers and children over the next 3 weeks. More than 100 parents and their children turned up this morning to the Kaitaia clinic, which is serving one of the most isolated communities in the region. Our reporter John Boynton is in Kaitaia with visual journalist Dan Cook and filed this report.
On a typically warm north day, a quick burst of traffic breathes life into the main drag of Commerce Street in Kaitaia. In a quiet parking lot, Janet Morunga is sitting in her car, waiting for her daughter-in-law and moko to return from the shops. Miss Morunga knows firsthand the reality of meningococcal.
My daughter had meningitis when she was 3 months old, meningococcal meningitis, and we had complications with my daughter Moana. Took her to the doctor 3 times before they realised that she did have meningococcal, and when we did take her, they had just lost a child at the doctor's.
She says she wants parents to know what's in the vaccine and about the danger of the disease.
There should be something told about if there are side effects for the kids. But I think it's very important that our children and our mokopunas and our great-grandchildren all get done. Don't want to lose any. We don't need to lose any of our tamariki.
Locals we spoke to said the Northland District Health Board's response had been too slow, and they were concerned information about the vaccination program wouldn't reach everyone who needed to know about it.
I think it's kind of been quite a sudden, like all of a sudden this is here, get immunised, and maybe there might not be enough awareness of it, might not be reaching out to sort of further flung communities that might not have access to it.
What have you thought of the DHB's response so far?
I think it's been slow.
Yeah. Why is that?
Well, because we've had 3 deaths, I believe, and so they're a bit behind the ball, with 3 deaths. And as I say, it's been funded in Australia for 3 years now, so we are behind the ball there.
I personally hope that parents and whānau do some research, about the pros and the cons of getting vaccinated, and, so it doesn't end in tragedy, I guess. Yeah, just make yourself aware.
The Northland DHB wants to vaccinate 25,000 children for the Men W strand in Northland at a number of clinics in the next 3 weeks. A worldwide shortage of the vaccine means the doses will be limited to those aged from 9 months to 4 years old and 13 to 19. Children between the age of 5 and 13 are not being vaccinated because they're the group less likely to be affected by the disease. But Janet Morunga says life in Kaitaia is tough enough and wants all children to have access to the vaccinations.
How many of these injections are going to be free, and then how much is it going to cost everybody else to get that same injection done? Some of us can't afford it. Not everybody can afford to have this.
This morning at their whare hauora at Kaitaia Hospital, there were more than 100 parents and their children, mostly babies and toddlers, waiting for the clinic to open. Stephanie Vinach was there with her daughter Mila.
I thought I'd get in early, but well, there's a big queue ahead of me, so I think everybody has known and been told about this. I think people are scared at the minute. I think with the deaths locally that everyone's a bit worried. So I've heard that with the herd immunity that everybody can be a bit stronger, and then there would obviously not as many people catching it.
Tui Matthews was also at the clinic with her 3 under 4-year-olds in tow. She found out about the vaccinations from social media.
My main reason was the 3 deaths that we've had in the north. I initially didn't want to go ahead and do it, but I did a bit of research in the vaccinations, thought, better go ahead and get the kids done.
Although she'd like to see all Northland children vaccinated, she understands the targeted approach.
I understand where they're coming from, trying to stop the carriers from passing it on, and then getting the younger ones to protect them, I suppose. Yeah. So hopefully when that's out of the road, everyone is able to get it all done for free.
As she pushes her pram into the busy clinic, the cries of young children can be heard. The first up for his injection is her son, Robbie. Dr Joel Pedini from Kaitaia Hospital has seen the devastating impacts meningococcal has had on the community.
The ongoing effects as well. You know, often we see the pictures of the kids who are unwell at the time, but the part you don't see is what happens to those kids going on with their learning, their development, their hearing and all those kinds of things as well.
Dr Pedini says there's a number of symptoms parents can look for.
So it's the things like high fevers, a headache, lethargy, a rash, a small baby just being unsettled and not themselves, vomiting, and in terms of MenW itself, it's known to cause a couple of other types of infections, so causing like a stomach infection with vomiting and diarrhoea, and also causing pneumonia as well.
And he backs the vaccination rollout the Northland DHB has set up.
I would encourage all of the people who live north of Kaitaia to talk to their own clinics, make plans to come down here to Kaitaia and have the vaccination done.
Clinics at Kaitaia Hospital will be in place for the next 2 weeks, and further clinics across Northland are open for the next 3 weeks. Mo te hōtaka o te ahi pōnei, ko John Boynton, aho.